Hi everyone, how are you all doing? So glad that all of you are here, and today I'm really excited to be clearing any doubts, any questions that you have about research paper writing. So feel free to share your questions with me, and I'll try my best to answer them for you. Before we begin, let me just highlight what's the importance of writing a research paper. So, when you write a research paper and when you get it published, it really helps you. Firstly, when you're planning to go for higher education. So, when you go for higher education, the universities really appreciate the fact that you have a paper published, which means that you've done some significant research. In fact, even when you're looking for jobs and if you have a paper published and you mention that in your CV, companies really appreciate that. And why is that? Because it shows that you have problem solving ability, that you are someone who knows how to approach a problem, you're someone who knows how, when they have a problem in front of them, how to arrive at a solution and then document it in a way, in a formal language, which can actually be published. So that is why publishing a research paper has a lot of benefits. And now feel free to share with me what are your questions, what are your doubts, and how can I clear them for you? Anything that you want to ask about paper publishing. So, first question I have is from Vijay Patil, and Vijay is asking, how can I create interest in research paper writing? So, Vijay, of course, the most interesting part is to do research and to get good quality results, but that's not enough. Until and unless you write a quality research paper, there is no proof that you've conducted research in the first place. So there's no evidence until and unless you write it. When it comes to research, we don't do audios, we don't do videos, we don't do podcasts, right? We do journal articles, we do conference publications. So until and unless you write it, put it in writing, there is no proof that you conducted research. And I think that should be a motivation factor for you to start working on a research project and to start working on a research paper for that matter. Right? Now, to build your interest in research paper writing, I know it's a very tiring and a very taxing process, but there are so many AI tools that are available nowadays, which makes the entire research paper writing process easy. And of course, we will be talking about that a little bit today. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Next, coming to Naeem. So Naeem is asking, I've done master's thesis. Can I write research paper of this thesis? So of course, Naeem, you can do that. But generally, when we write a thesis, we write it in a lot of detail, right? So when you're writing a research paper, you really need to arrive at a topic which is firstly focused. Secondly, the results that you've arrived at is novel and that has not been published till now. And then you need to put that in a concise way in a research paper. So of course you can publish it, but you need to make sure that number one, you have a clear topic. Sometimes thesis can be varied and where you're exploring a lot of different things, so you need to make sure that number one, it's concise. Secondly, as I said, you need to arrive at a result which is novel. A lot of the times, as part of our master's requirement or PhD requirement, we might work on any topic, but that's not necessary that it's novel, it's new, it's something that you've managed to find out new that is really contributing to the research. That might not be the case. But when you need to publish a research paper, you need to make sure that what you're working on is novel or new. So, if all these things are satisfied, then of course you can use your thesis to write a research paper. Um, Another question, ma'am, can I mention that I've published research paper in so and so journal in my SOP and personal statements or CV? Of course. In fact, I would recommend everyone should. Okay, so you can definitely mention that you've published a research paper in your SOP and even your personal statement, because let me tell you very honestly, not a lot of people have their research papers published. So if you actually manage to get a paper published, you should be highlighting that in these documents, because that really sets you apart from other candidates. And same goes for your CV. You can create a separate publication section and then list down all your research papers there. Okay. All right. Coming to my next question. Madam, how to select researchable topic for PhD thesis? So that depends. I would say the easiest way to find a research topic is to approach your professor, ask them if they have any topic in mind, and if they do, that could be a starting point. Otherwise, go through different university websites, see what other professors are working on, what are some of the topics they have published their research on, and then you can start to arrive at a research topic from there. Okay, otherwise I've created a separate video on how to choose a research topic, and you can check that out. Also, guys, I'd really like, before I take more questions, I'd really like to let all of you know that we are conducting a live and interactive course on how to write a research paper and present it as well in the form of scientific presentations. So it's going to be a total 12-hour course. The first 8 hours are for research paper writing, and the second half, which is 4.5 hours to 5 hours, is going to be for scientific presentations. And in this course, we're going to talk about everything in detail as to how to write a research paper, how to choose a topic, what are the different sections that go in there, how to write each and every section of a research paper. And actually, there are no AI tools that can really help you write a paper. Of course, they can correct your grammatical errors, language errors, but what should be the flow of a research paper? What kind of content should you include? Visuals should you include that makes for an attractive research paper? All this information is not there. So if you attend this course, it's really going to help you out, because in the end, we also talk about how to cite and refer information correctly, how to choose your journals, what are some of the ethical issues you need to keep in mind, how to avoid plagiarism. So it's a complete course. Teaches you everything from scratch, how to start a research topic and how to start your research, all the way till how to get it published. This particular program, I have tried to design it specifically for science and engineering students, because a lot of the examples I use here are science and engineering catered, but that doesn't mean other field people cannot attend it. The basic concept of writing a research paper, if you've seen my past videos, remains the same. All right. So if you're okay with not getting relevant examples and you still want to learn, anyone can join this course. It's applicable for undergrads, masters, PhD students, everyone. All right. Okay, now there's so many questions coming up, so we'll talk more about the course later. Of course, if you want to register, the link is in the description and in the pinned comment, and we're giving a special promo or a special discount for first 20 registrations. So please register today itself, because I'm sure those 20 are going to run out today only. All right. Okay, now getting back. Yeah. So let me see your questions. Does a paper always need to have a very unique approach towards problem solving? More than a unique. So there has to be something unique about the paper. Surya is asking, right? So Surya, there has to be something unique about the paper. That could be in the approach or the methodology. That could be in the kind of materials that you have used. So there has to be something new, and you should arrive at a result which other people have not, preferably for the better. So until and unless you have something new, you think about it, like, why will somebody want to read your research paper if you're not adding anything new to the scientific community? So there has to be some level of novelty in the kind of research that you have done. Research paper methodology construction is sometimes very confusing, especially in case of descriptive statistics. Please recommend how to select methodology. So I don't think I'm very well aware of this particular area of research, and I think need more understanding to be able to answer this question. So if you could give me more details, I think that would really help. I've done my master's thesis. How can I publish my thesis, and how long will it take? So, Manikandan, generally people don't publish their thesis, they publish a research paper. So, you really need to identify a topic from your thesis and then go for publication. And if your thesis has already been submitted and it's already available online, then you need to make sure that when you're writing your research paper, you're not plagiarizing your thesis. So, you really need to paraphrase everything that you write. How can I write a review paper since I started my PhD 3 months ago? So, Abdullah, I feel that's a great question. Generally, I've seen a lot of PhD students write review papers, and how that helps is if you're somebody who's new to research and just exploring a topic, I think you're anyways going through a lot of literature. So summarizing everything in a form of a review paper not only gives you a paper publication, but it also really gives you a good understanding of the topic. So, very similar to writing a research paper, even for a review paper, what you need to do is arrive at something novel. And when I say novel in case of a review paper, you will be like, review paper is where I'm already combining what other people have done and I'm just talking about that. So, how can I introduce an element of novelty there? So here the novelty actually needs to come in, say for example, the topic that you've chosen. It could be that not a lot of review papers are available in this area, and so the topic that you've chosen is novel, and that is the reason why you're writing a review paper. Or not much research has been done in this area and very few works are there, so what you're trying to do, you're trying to consolidate that research so other people can understand this topic and take it forward. So you really need to think from that angle, then choose a research topic, and of course take guidance of professors and other postdocs if you're somebody who's new to this, right? Because they'll be able to guide you. Shri is asking, good evening. Please give a few tips regarding active and passive voice usage while writing a manuscript. All right. So, Shri, whenever we are writing a manuscript or a research paper, we always go for passive voice rather than active voice. Reason being, if we go for active voice, we are the subject, right? We cannot be writing, I took 5 grams of sulfur, I added it in a beaker, I then did this, I did that. No, when we are conducting research, we are not the subject, but what is happening in the research, that is the subject, which is why we write it in passive voice. 5 grams of sulfur was taken and added to the beaker, right? After that it was subjected to so and so technique. So we always go for passive voice. Madam, what are sources from where we can download work of previous researchers? So, I've actually made a video on this as to how to search and download research papers for free. So, you can check that out. I'm not allowed to talk about pirated websites from where you can download the research paper here. So, if you check that video out, that will give you a lot of information. Sorry. Ma'am, my research paper during my BSc is actually under communication in the Journal of Molecular Liquids, but it is not yet issued. So, can I say that my paper is under process or shouldn't mention it? So, of course, if your research paper is under consideration by a journal, if you're preparing your CV or any other document for that matter, you can, of course, say that your manuscript is under review. But if the journal, say for example, have accepted it and said, we are going to publish your paper, but they've not yet published, then you can say manuscript accepted. And if it gets published, then of course you have a published paper with DOI and all those information. Hi, are we all supposed to submit the actual data set to publishers while submitting the paper for publishing? What all is required to be submitted apart from paper itself? So, Millie, you're not supposed to submit the actual data set to the publishers. Using that data set, you must have done some analysis and you must have arrived at some charts or graphs, right? Those high quality information in the form of high quality PNG or JPG images, you are supposed to share with the publisher, not original data. They are not interested in raw data. They don't want that. Okay. Yes. So while I wait for more questions, let me talk about our research writing course. So guys, research writing course starting this 24th of June, and as I said, it's a 12-hour certification course. Once you complete the course successfully, you will actually be issued a certificate where it says that you have attended a course on writing a research article, and that will really add value when you're going for higher education, when you're going for jobs, because then people know that formally you've taken a course, and it's almost like a communication skills building course where you've learned how to write a paper, and that is really valued. So you can actually attend this course. As I said, we have a special discount running for the first 20 registrations, and it might just get over today. So if you're really interested, you should sign up. These are going to be live sessions, and they're going to take place over the weekends and one of the weekdays. during the weekday it's going to be in the evening and during the weekends it's going to be in the morning, so that in the evening you can go and you can party. So that's why the sessions are not in the evening on weekdays. All right, if you have any questions about the course, you can put it in the comments below and I'll try and answer them for you. Also, the link for registration and for more information of what's going to be covered in the course, everything is present in the description and I'll be putting it in the pinned comment as well. Okay. So now coming to a few other questions. Do any journal ask for the raw DNA sequence file? So now this is something very technical, Shubrata. As I said, generally publication houses, they don't ask for raw data, but for your field, I am not aware. So I mean, you'll have to find that out. In my case, your course is good for me. My PhD research on mobile robotics in a hospital. Fantastic, Abdullah. So we deal with science and engineering examples. So I think your PhD thesis is right on point, and I think you will really, get a lot of value from the course. We need to publish a research paper for my son undergrad admission. He's in class 11. How to do it and how long will it take? So Mr. Garapati, to be very honest, I am not aware of what kind of research papers are required for school level. I am, as far as my knowledge goes, it's just going to be writing sort of a review of what you have read about a particular topic. I wouldn't call it a research paper, because when you join a college or a university, the kind of research that you do is something else, and that is generally not practiced at school level. So my understanding is that if a topic is given to you, based on that topic, you need to research online the information, consolidate that, and put it in the form of an essay or an assignment. I think that's what I think it could be, but please go through the information and try to understand. Generally, at school level, scientific research is not conducted till now. All right. So, guys, anything else? I can take a few more questions. And I hope I've cleared your doubts. I hope some of your doubts have been cleared. Thank you so much. Thanks. Shri is saying, thanks for answering. Sometimes writing in passive voice leads to ambiguity. Um, is there any strategy to avoid vagueness in writing? So, Shri, I don't think it introduces a lot of ambiguity, to be honest, depending on all the research papers I have read. So probably this is something you can, we can discuss one to one and the kind of issue that you're facing. And for that, if you join my course, then, I provide one to one assistance also and discuss all your doubts during the session. Okay, so that's a good question. After finding a journal, what are the next steps? So once you found a journal, so don't just find one single journal, but you need to find multiple journals. I'm sorry about that. Once you found multiple journals, try to rank them in descending order of impact factor. So highest impact factor journal on top, lowest impact factor journal at the bottom. And then what you do, you start sending out your research paper to one journal, to each journal one by one. You can't send your research paper to all the journals together. That's not allowed. You need to send it to one journal, get their decision. If they reject your journal, then if they reject your paper, then you move on to the next journal. So that's how the that's how the process generally goes. Now, how do you actually submit your paper to a journal? If you go to the journal website, they will have proper author guidelines. They will ask you to create an account there, and then it's almost like filling up a form. They will ask you all the details, author information, etc., etc., and then they will ask you to upload your paper there. So before you upload, of course, you need to make sure that your paper meets all the guidelines that are set by the journal. Otherwise, your paper will get rejected very soon. Okay. Ma'am, is it possible to write conference paper in 1 month? Of course. Conference papers are generally shorter and they don't require a lot of in-depth research. Sometimes you can put up a conference paper even on a very small topic that you've researched on. So it can be written in 1 month. दीदी कैन यू हेल्प मी, बीएस इन डेटा एनालिटिक्स एक डिग्री आईआईटी मद्रास ने बनाई है, सो दीदी इज ऑनलाइन डिग्री वर्थ इट? That's a very difficult question you asked me. Um, if you really want to study and if you really want to, get that BS degree and get that knowledge from the program, I think yes, the degree is worth it, and you will at least learn from some of the best professors and gain knowledge. But if you ask me, is this online degree same as that of a degree that you get after clearing IIT JEE? Then no, it's not. There's a huge difference between the value of these two degrees. Okay. Ma'am, how you read papers? Because I could not read it and how to take output of it. So don't worry if you're not able to read a lot of research papers, and that too in a fast way. There are so many AI tools, as I said, that are available nowadays. Two AI tools that I found to be really useful that can help you in reading a research paper. Number one, Consensus. So consensus is amazing. You ask a question to consensus and then it goes through all the research papers that are available and then tries to give you an answer. And secondly, chat PDF. So if you have a particular paper and you're not having difficulty understanding it, then you can you can upload your paper and then ask questions to chat PDF, and then it will explain those things to you in simple words. In fact, if you don't have the time to read the entire research paper but just want a gist of it, that also chat PDF will help you do it. Okay. So someone is asking, hi, how to write a conceptual paper for quality journal. So what do you exactly mean by conceptual paper, Renuka? I think I need more explanation on that. How can we pay for the course since I'm not in India right now, in Malaysia? So Abdullah, you can easily pay from anywhere in the world, and all you need is an international credit card, and just make sure that you have international payments on it. Sorry, and then you can register for it. Okay, last few questions, guys. Anything else? Last few questions. No? Okay. All right, then, everyone. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for attending this session, and I hope some of your doubts were cleared. I look forward to seeing all of you in the research, writing, and presentation course, because there's so much that I'd like to teach you, which I generally don't cover in my videos. And I'd really like all of you to attend the course so that you can get complete information. So, see you guys. Make sure you register today itself so that you can use the promotion. All right. Thank you so much, and hope to see you all again soon in the next live. It was so amazing talking to all of you today. So, thank you so much. Bye and take care. If I've missed any of your questions, please leave your comments after the live ends and I will try and answer them for you. All right. So, thank you so much, guys. Bye. Take care.